deal with airplane peanuts.
The highly anticipated second season of Tires from Shane Gillis and John McKeever debuted to a #2 spot on the Netflix Top 10 after 12 brand new episodes were released this year, doubling the amount from season 1.
I really do. I have very high hopes for season 2. It was so fun to shoot. We actually did it like a real show, whereas the first season was just like, I've said this before, I thought it was going on YouTube. Like, I thought it was like the best YouTube video ever made.
Oh my God.
And it just turned out to be like a pretty made but funny show.
Besides the total number of episodes, there were a lot of upgrades made on this show compared to season 1, which was a 6-episode pilot season that was completely paid for out of pocket by Shane Gillis before being sold to Netflix. Not only was that a really big balls move by Shane Gillis in the first place, but it also makes sense that after being officially picked up by Netflix, the second season saw an overall rise in production value, doubled the amount of episodes, and had way more potential to add big-time guest stars compared to the year prior.
Season 1 especially was so cool because he paid to have that entire shot made, to shoot the entire thing. You know, that was when his star was sort of rising and he should have like not done that, you know.
I just knew you were a star.
No.
I knew from day. He's like a Tom Cruise.
Please. You know, you and McKeever.
You're like the next Tom Cruise.
Yeah. Stop. I'm being serious though. Anyway, it's just a really special thing you did.
Who is the craziest person in the season that you got to cameo, and how did you ask them?
It was Vince Vaughn. Yeah, for sure.
And what was the ask?
Yeah, how did that
I
go?
met him a couple times and we got to know each other, and he's the coolest guy ever.
He seems awesome.
He is Vince Vaughn, which is
that's
like,
great.
I mean, he's like that all the time. He's kind of the coolest guy ever.
Okay, you reach out personally, or you have
Yeah,
like...
I just texted him and I was like,
okay.
would you be in the show we're making? And he just was like, yeah, of course.
He was familiar with season 1?
I don't know if he had even seen it yet. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But he just instantly was like, yeah, just say when.
That's awesome.
And then we were trying to find a way to get him in the show because I was like, we got Vince Vaughn.
Of course, yeah.
And then we kind of shoehorn him in there. So you'll see.
So you're writing for Vince Vaughn, and you've seen every Vince Vaughn movie. How do you stop yourself from just writing?
We didn't. He wrote he had a pass at the script, and do you remember that? Every sentence ended with baby.
Oh, yeah. I think I was like,
He was like,
I mean, the tires,
every
baby.
line was
Look
like,
at
come
these
on, baby.
tires,
What are you doing,
Come
baby?
on.
He got the lines like right away. I mean, I think we gave them to him that day. It was pretty impressive. And then he added Vince stuff, which was it was awesome to watch.
Before our last take, McKeever was like, all right, we got it. You guys just have fun now. And Vince Vaughn kind of like pulled us into a huddle. He goes, now the stakes say the same. Remember that? Stakes say the same. But then we riff. Then we riff, boys. And I was like, yes, sir, whatever the you say.
Yeah, he was like a real actor.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. He was like serious.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's a real fucking actor.
He's like a thespian.
And the rest of us are.
When you riffed, would he like... Well, yeah, Gerby is obviously.
Gerby's just wearing a robe in his trailer.
Oh my God. One time.
Outside of the A-list actors, there were also a ton of fellow comics in season 2. From Ron White playing a disgraced NASCAR driver, to funny cameos from Joe DeRosa, H. Foley, Big J. Okerson, Steph Tolev, Francis Ellis, Karen Fian, and tons more. Plus all the same comedians that were in season 1, including the sexy bike cop.
Is there a problem here, officer? You know these guys? Yeah, I think I've seen them before. Oh, yeah? These two boys, they're actually pussies.
The acting in this show was actually phenomenal all around. Not just from guys like Vince Vaughn and Thomas Hayden Church, but every comedian knocked it out of the park in their role. Although it is funny how clearly obvious it is that everyone's playing some sort of exaggerated real-life version of themselves on screen, to the point where I would barely call this acting. As a podcast fan, it's extra funny to see the characters interacting on Tires the same way they do online, and there even seem to be some Curb Your Enthusiasm type improv moments between Chris O'Connor and Shane Gillis to start off a few scenes where they'd be looking at each other grinning like they actually didn't know what the other one was about to say, just like when they're riffing on a podcast. Watching Tires, you truly get the feeling that these are a bunch of comedians on screen who are all friends in real life and are acting as themselves in this show, just with different names.
Steve, your character's name on the show is not Steve, it is
Will.
Yeah, and Shane, your character's name on the show is
Shane.
Yeah, so in the writing of it, was there a reason that you just decided Shane should be Shane?
No, I was like, I think we should have different names. What if you were Sean? And he was like, just call me Shane.
Sean's crazy.
Sean's too close.
Sean's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, if you were gonna give Shane a different name, like shoot for the stars, don't just give him a different vowel sound.
All right,
What if you got the pick?
I know you're a writer, big time writer and all on SNL.
Oh yeah, man.
I think Sean's fine.
You think Sean's fine?
Yeah.
Oh, you wouldn't last a day at SNL.
I didn't really last a day at SNL. So.
That's how we like to do things on Tires. No one really knows how to act. We just kind of play ourselves.
I've never felt so funny in my life than I did in that set.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the grip guy came over and shook my hand. I'm
Those
like,
guys are awesome.
Grip guy?
No.
Like, it was nuts.
Tires rule. Like,
It was so chill. The
Yeah.
costume people, the makeup people.
No, our whole...
Everyone was amazing. I'm like, how is everyone this cool?
The whole crew is cool as shit. I think part of that is like filming it in Philly, right?
Yeah.
Or like around,
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Pennsylvania. The makeup people were all like, it's crazy how much easier you guys are to deal with. And like, none of us give a
And it's all men. You're
It's
just
all, yeah,
dabbing,
we're all
like,
comedians
yeah,
who are like,
yeah.
we are gonna look like shit. None of us expect to look good on TV. We're all like, well, of course we're gonna look like shit. We all look like shit. Shane is hungover. He's about to do like a 5-page speech, and he's like, he doesn't expect to be, I was just like, yeah. Do it. Yeah. Oh, what are you gonna make my hair look good?
I'm really realizing Tires is not that exaggerated at all.
No,
the
it's
dynamic
pretty-
between
it's pretty
the
easy.
is like pretty much exactly what it is. The writers' room is just y'all being like, let's have a conversation.
Yeah.
That's the episode.
Every single person, like you play, and just an exaggerated version of you. Tommy, the execs, Stav is Stav.
Oh, yeah.
Stav's 100% Stav.
Yeah.
Kyla is Kyla.
One of the most underrated characters in the whole series has to be Kyla Fox, who had multiple hilarious moments in the new season that felt like Sweet D from Always Sunny was working in a tire shop instead of Patty's Pub. My personal favorite episode was number 2, titled HR. We went over every episode with more personal detail and reaction over on the Joke World Patreon last week. But anyway, having more episodes provided Shane Gillis and John McKeever the extra runway needed to set up storylines and further develop characters this time around, and the season 2 finale ended with everyone in a good place to take things deeper in season 3, which apparently has technically not been decided upon yet, but I would predict a season 3 announcement by the end of this summer, maybe even with a multi-season renewal. With the high quality of the episodes they've already put out mixed with the massive fan base supporting it, I could honestly see Tires hitting 8 or 9 seasons one day and becoming the staple sitcom to this entire generation, even to people who might not know about Shane's background in stand-up or podcasting. There's potential that the future success of Tires might even lead to all of these comics getting booked in big-time comedy movies, and Shane Gillis reaching full Adam Sandler status, turning his own friend group into the next slate of famous comedic actors for the next 20 years to come.
I knew from day. He's like a Tom Cruise.
Please, you and McKeever.
You're like the next Tom Cruise.
Yeah. Stop. I'm being serious though. Anyway, it's just a real special thing you did.
It was, yeah.
Just take the compliment, Shane.
No, it's McKeever that's.
Yeah,
it's all McKeever. And Gerby, and Gerby, baby.
Maybe it's all three of you guys.
True, but the work he does is.
McKeever is like, yeah.
I think you guys
on
are
Shane's
all.
level.
Yeah, he's
McKeever's
McKeever
absolutely
does
amazing.
stuff like we'll film the season and then I just forget about it. I just go like all I did was act.
Yeah.
I called McKeever like 2 or 3 months later and I was like, "What's up, dude? What have you been up to?" He's like, I'm editing. He's like, I haven't left. I'm still working. I was like, "Oh shit, you're still working on that?"
McKeever's so fucking
He's
incredible.
such a because there's ways to direct people where you can feel like I could tell when I did something wrong or I didn't like it, and the way he would word it, like, cause everyone can hear the director talking to you.
Yeah,
He'd be like, why don't you try it like this way?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay. So in his head, he's like, I hated that first take, but he said it so nicely that I was like, oh, I still feel good about that take, and like.
And you respect, like, working with I mean, a director, you just have to kind of like respect what they're like. McKeever does so much work for that show. I mean, on the first season in particular, he like edited everything, and now even now he oversees everything, obviously, because he's the director. But like a lot of it is in his head, where it's like if that like he has such a clear vision for it, and he's really funny.
Really funny. Yeah.
He's made so much good stuff, and he obviously works so great with Shane. They have such a good history together. But yeah, he's the man, and everybody on there is funny.
It's very.
I'm so happy to just have stumbled into a really good show. Like thank God they just needed, people that are exactly how both of us behave.
Yeah.
From editing the footage to writing the script, John McKeever really is the straw that stirs Tyre's drink, and his elite writing abilities are on full display in season 2. Not just when it comes to comedy, but also wholesome and emotional moments like the ending, and a continual love interest for Shane's character that somehow never got annoying. When the large-eyed lady first walked into the shop and you could tell she was not just some random customer, my first immediate thought was like, oh, here we go, now that it's a full 12 episodes, they're gonna feel required to add some sort of lame Jim and Pam type romance to keep people engaged this whole time. However, my initial reaction was dead wrong because the script was so perfectly written that every time it felt like this love story was about to get too cliche and serious, things would just take a hilarious turn that felt way more true to their brand.
They're going to
Steve's
say
gonna be a
yes.
fucking nightmare.
You think it just keeps on getting crazier?
Yes.
What do you think was the biggest adjustment in his attitude from season 1 to 2?
But he could tell you, it's
What
out of control. I mean, the robe, the f***ing
One robe
singing. He
experience.
would get in the morning with hair and makeup, and he would sing.
What would you sing?
And like,
just whatever we're singing. You know, they have songs
but
on
all
or
these
whatever.
people have to be nice to him. He's the lead.
Yeah.
So he comes, he's like, "Oh, come on, girls, let's sing a little song."
I don't say, "Come on, girls, to sing a little song."
That's
There's
crazy.
songs on. You know, they're nice people. You know that. So, you know, we had a good time.
Guest spots from last week. The Joe Rogan Experience sat down with Luke Caverns, Hassan Ahmad, Bono, Jesse Michaels, and Oz Perlman. Two Bears, One Cave talked to Big Cat. Ari Shaffir and Brendan Sagalow were the guests on the Legion of Skanks. Dave Mamet and Shia LaBeouf were on Bad Friends. Jordan Jensen sat on the couch with Soder. Story Wars was a battle between TJ Miller, Mike Rainey, and Danny Polishuk. Joey Avery took a trip to Stuff Island. Harland Williams sat in the Wayback. Aaron Weber was on the Honeydew. Giannis Pappas stopped by Whiskey Ginger and went on You Be Trippin'. Steph Tola visited Stavi's World. You Know What Dude featured Maddie Smith. Jimmy Carr was the guest on Kill Tony. And Gerbies and Shane were on Flagrant.
First time I ever featured at Helium Comedy Club was for Bert Kreischer.
Get out of here.
And I emailed him about more, because he was hammered, and he was telling me like, "Yeah, I'll take you on the road whenever you want." I was like, yeah, this is gonna change my life. So I like sent him like a long email of like, "I think you and me mesh really well, and I think we should." And it was his birthday, and I closed the email with like, "Happy birthday," and he just never responded. And then me, him, and Stanhope were doing a podcast together, and I was like, "I actually emailed you a while ago, and it's really embarrassing." And he's like, "I have the same Gmail. I'm gonna look it up right now."
He read it.
He read the email.
Oh, wow.
And then Stanhope was like, "Actually, Bert, you emailed me, you fucking loser."
No way.
Yeah. It was
That's
pretty
awesome.
Oh, that's perfect.
Bert's was way worse. Bert's was like, "I know we don't know each other, but I'm on the road and it's real depressing." And how do you it's so fucking gay.
Nigel NG was on This Past Weekend with Theo Vaughn. Fahim Anwar took a ride on the Harland Highway. Big J. Okerson was a guest on History Hyenas and Being Ian with Jordan. Andrea Jin was on the Fat Fish podcast. Billy, Charles, and John were on Matt's Secret podcast. Grace O'Malley took her shoes off with Rick Glassman. Sam Lopez was on The Solid Show. Sagday DePod had on Nathan McIntosh. Chef Brad attended The Church. The Tim Barley Show had on Alex Scarlato. Chip Chantry was on Dad Meat. Ben Baller hit the links on No Bad Lies. Dr. Drew was on Jim Norton Can't Save You. Maria Bamford went on First Date. Craig Robinson, John Edwards, and Tana Mojo all did stuff with Howie Mandel. Jarrett Moore was on Rough Week. Carl LaFleur broke bread with Tom Papa. The Tim Dillon Show, Camp Gagnon, Son of a Boy Dad, Your Mom's House, We Might Be Drunk, Are You Garbage, and Durag and the Deer Tag all did not have guests. And we interviewed Adam Ray and Michelle Wolf in a video about Dave Chappelle's Comedy Club right here on Joke World.
What he's doing in Yellow Springs now is really, it's great. You know, he has his own comedy club there, and he's getting comics and musicians in from everywhere. And, you know, people are driving in from like everywhere in Ohio, but also like Kentucky and Illinois, you know, like states.
Yeah.
And he's giving people an opportunity to see all these comedians and musicians on a really intimate basis. And the club is beautiful. It's like your dream comedy club. It's really cool. He does a lot for his community. It's great to see him use his influence and his, like, literally his own money to do that.
Yeah, it's insane. I went one time last year on the day of the eclipse, and it was the best entertainment thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, he's 2 feet away from you on stage, just like riffing about the eclipse and just what it was crazy. That is, and also he only opens it when he wants to, which is like the money part. It's like that's not a good investment to make a club in Yellow Springs.
He's really doing it for the art of it and not for the like, all right, we got to fill all these weekends, which by the way, he could also easily do, you know, like.
As far as new stand-up comedy specials that are either out right now or coming out soon, there honestly are not a lot to start off the summer, but Giannis Pappas, Property Owner, and Brett Weinbach, Popular Culture, are both out right now on YouTube. Mike Birbiglia, The Good Life, is out on Netflix. Drew Dunn, Positive Stuff, came out on the Don't Tell channel. And Joe List, Small Ball, is officially coming to YouTube after its theater release last month.
But what's going to happen to it after it releases in theaters?
We are still trying to figure that out. I'm thinking probably YouTube again. YouTube has done well for me. We pitched it to Netflix, sent it to Netflix, and whatever reason they give, I don't really know exactly. My reps talk to them. I think I'm not quite big enough or weird enough, whatever it is. I don't really know, but that's okay. And I've been doing YouTube, and they keep growing, and or at least my fans keep growing. The specials get less and less viewers, but I think that's because YouTube has changed quite a bit. And the last one I said the C word, so pretty early on, I think. So I think probably YouTube.
There's also a brand new tribute to Ken Flores out right now on Hulu, and a few specials coming later this month to keep on your radar, including Justin Willman, Magic Lover on June 17th, and Steph Tolev, Filth Queen on June 24th, both coming out on Netflix. And not technically a stand-up special, but Josh Johnson released his weekly stand-up set per usual, this time with a new 45 minutes about the Sydney Sweeney bathwater soap. And last but not least, if you've already finished season 2 of Tires and are looking for even more funny moments between the young bull and the Gruel King, check out the Best of Shane and Gerby's comp on the end screen right after this. And real quick, like we mentioned earlier, there are over 400 pieces of bonus content available right now on the Joke World Patreon for just $5 a month. So head over there now if you want more comedy news videos, best of the week compilations, or if you just feel like supporting the comedy news and want to help us out so we can hire more people or buy a sick news van, that would be great too. Okay, enough yapping for me. Thank you so much for watching this video, and follow us on Instagram for some free Joke World stickers like usual.
At Joke World. That's it, at Joke World.
And the world is WRLD.
That's a great YouTube channel, Joke World. Check it out.